Welcome to the studio, Air Force veteran Danny Young.
Hello.
Appreciate you taking time out of your day to
You're welcome.
come speak with us.
Yep.
I think we're going to enjoy this immensely. So first off, before you joined the Air Force, where'd you call home?
Nebraska.
Good old Nebraska. What part of Nebraska?
I'm in the Midwest, right in the middle,
Okay.
around Grand Island, Hastings, Kearney, the Tri-City area. A lot of tornadoes.
So where would that be in relation? I grew up, my best friend was from Nebraska. So where, Scotts Bluff, where is that in relation? Anywhere
well,
near it?
Yes.
Okay.
Pretty close. Scotts Bluff is a distance away, but yeah, we've been there a couple of times, but I don't know the exact, because I never drove. So
Gotcha.
like I'm one of those that I got to drive there to figure out how to get there down the
Sure.
road to the
Yeah.
right, past the other tree. Yeah, one of those things. But yeah, around Grand Island, Hastings, Kearney area. Had my first boyfriend in Kearney, Nebraska. So
Okay.
that was kind of fun. And he wanted to marry me, and it just was interesting. But he went in the Army, and I went in the Air Force. And I was like,
Okay.
no, sorry, I can't do that. He asked me on my graduation date to marry him. He was my high school sweetheart. So
We've got a proposal story
Yeah.
already, Trent,
yeah,
that went the wrong way.
Wrong way.
Well, it might have went the right way for you.
it was. I still liked him, Mike Skraskins.
Wow.
So I still like him. He's married and has like a zillion children. So his mother said.
So what was maybe a motivation? Why go into the military?
I had blue eyes. I love our country, man. I think it is amazing what people can do when they come together and put their differences aside and work together for the common good and, serve our flag. And I've just been very patriotic ever since I've been a little girl, going to rodeos. And there's one coming up here in Lynchburg and on my birthday. And so we already have tickets. We're already going there and see Jacob Corwin and stuff. And it's just really exciting to be a part of that kind of situation. And we always saluted the flag and we didn't kneel or whatever, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
all
absolutely.
that's been going on and disrespect. And we always grew up, my dad was a highway patrolman. Well, actually, my uncle was a highway patrolman. And dad was a small town cop in Elgin and Ewing, Nebraska.
Okay.
He was also in the military. So I followed in my dad's footsteps. And literally, they used to make a joke that if you walked in the boots of your former family, you were predestined to go into the military. And I found that amazingly cool. Of all the stories I've listened to, other veterans, they've done that too.
Yeah.
Whether it be the mother, mother and father now going into the military. So I've had a lot of really good experiences going into the military. I had a really rough childhood, but, I looked forward to going in, serving our country, and doing my job to the best of my ability for what I was given. And I gave it my all, Awesome. So we worked a lot of shifts back in 93 to 96.
Just to ask a quick
go
question.
ahead.
What made you choose Air Force? I mean, was it the recruiter? Was it the uniform? Was it the history of that, or versus the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, the Marines? How did you choose Air Force?
Blue eyes.
Is it just you
My
like the
mom
color?
said, yep. She goes, honey, you're going to look really sharp in your uniform. I want you to go in the Air Force. And it's more difficult to get in the Air Force than it is in the Army because they're just grunts.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, Mom. Yes, Dad. He's like, I don't care which branch you go in. Just go in and serve your country and be proud. And I'm proud.
Very cool.
That's
I'm
awesome.
proud. God is good.
So when you got to boot camp, where was that?
San Antonio, Texas.
Okay. Was that did you prepare yourself mentally, or were you prepared for it?
No, not at all. I was like, the first thing I remember is being a rainbow, different colors, and all different colors and everything. And they stripped us down to like camouflage, and they're like yelling in my face. They're like, welcome to basic training, Airman Souls. I'm like, great. What I get into here, And they came like 1 inch away from the bill of my cap and were yelling at me. And I'm like, what do I do? What do I do? You know, like, no, I wasn't prepared.
Wow.
I was not prepared for what I was about to experience. So
after basic training,
Yes.
where do you end up after that?
basic training, I went to tech school in Biloxi, Mississippi. So that was kind of fun. That was interesting. I got massive migraine headaches and stuff there. So started some of my traumatic events and stuff that, you know, kind of transpired over the time. But Biloxi was fun. It was interesting. It was Mardi Gras of 1994. So they allowed us to wear the beads of Mardi Gras on the outside of our uniform out of regs. And I was like, that's not right. We can't do that. You know, I was so politically correct. And I just really respected the uniform. And I always looked good. I always got great performance evaluation, stuff like that. Just because I cared about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I wanted to be a good example of what it looks like to be an airman, you know, or whatever. So that was pretty fun. So
what at tech school? What are you learning at that juncture?
That's a good question. Glad you asked that.
I'm surprised.
So yeah, I didn't learn much. No, I'm joking. I learned a lot, volumes and volumes of books, just stacked all the way up above my bunk in tech school in Biloxi, Mississippi. Let's see. It was Air Force regulations, manuals, and instructions, AFR, AFM, and AFIs. And so we had to memorize all the books and parts of it, you know, like AFR 3911 is Airman Assignments. I still remember that. We had to remember parts of it. We had to remember part of it. All the master sergeants, tech sergeants, and everybody else failed the test because we had to memorize a lot of it and kick it back and take a computer test, closed booked. No, you could not look in the regs to see what they were and what they were about. So I got cross-trained at the convenience of the military. We all know how that feels. So what they don't know, and they probably figured out, I don't know how to do fractions or squat. They didn't teach us that in country school.
I've made it to 50 years old. And
Yeah.
I still have no clue. And I'm in contracting.
Oh my goodness.
He just uses whole numbers.
That's right.
The whole number.
Close enough for highway
Round
work.
it up. Round it up or
That's
take
right.
it down.
That's right.
But, yeah.
So at that point, you said, what year is that? 94?
93 into 94.
94.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So Desert Storm is going on then?
Desert Storm. Yes, sir. We don't
Okay.
hear much about that.
It's crazy because we
don't
grew up
hear
in
about it.
Yeah.
We don't hear about it now. It's like the silent Vietnam, only earlier. You know what I'm saying? They skip. I'm like, oh, wait a minute. You forgot about us. We're
Oh, yeah.
here. You know what I'm
No.
saying?
So when were you thinking you're going to end up in combat somewhere, or in your training you
didn't
kind of
know.
knew what, or you didn't know?
No.
At that point, you're just
I'm just being obedient as a soldier. I was doing anything and everything that I was told to do, from whatever. I mean, doing the latrine queen or whatever they told me to do, my sergeants told me to do, I would be obedient and I would do that. No questions asked. I just did it.
Yeah.
That's just the way I was as a child, you know. I didn't disrespect them or nothing. I appreciated what they were doing for our country, and we were serving the same team.
Yeah.
You know, whether you were Army or Navy or Air Force or Marines or Coast Guard or Space Force now,
Yeah.
we were all working as a team, as a unit, as a company. You know what I'm saying?
Sure. Yeah.
So that was like so cool to be able to experience that. And the diversity, oh my goodness. If you got to see my picture of my basic training, we had so many different types of women. It was fun in the showers. I was like going, oh my goodness. It's like, it was a little too much for me, but
Sure.
you know what? I got over it. And when you get called out and then you have to go to PT right away, you get a 30-second shower shower and then you're out. I mean, it was like out you go, and then I was a chow runner in basic training. We forgot about that. So I was a chow runner in basic training, and I was considered Airman Smiley because I'm always smiling.
Sure.
And I don't care what I went through. I'd be like looking at them, and I wanted to laugh at them because I was like, are you serious? Mm-hmm. I didn't know if they were serious or if they were playing. And so they're like, from now on, you're Airman Smiley. And so that's my nickname from basic training. Wow. And I've carried it all the way through.
I'll be darned.
So even on the back of my cell phone, it's Airman Smiley. I'm the girl Smiley. So I love the military. I loved what it was about. I had some really unique experiences in there that were traumatic. But other than that,
well, you said you were in.
I think
you were in tech school. Is that like an air wing division? Is it what kind of MOS? What kind of duty is it?
Well, I started out. I don't remember my career field as far as information management is concerned because I never graduated to get my 3M031. 3M031, I believe, is what it was when I was a cook. I was conveniently transferred to the place where I don't know fractions. Remember that? Mm-hmm. So I was cross-trained into a cook. And I'm like going, I'm sitting there taking tests. I'm like, I can take a test. But then, I mean, when I go to try to mash them all together and scoop potatoes and crack eggs and whatever, and I can do 3 eggs with one hand. That's pretty impressive for a girl. I got good fluctuation. So, but we had a lot of really cool stories. Anywhere from Airman Baker putting the whole eggshell in it called for a whole egg. He put the whole entire egg in there.
Hey, he did it literally.
Yeah, literally. Yeah. And so it was funny because we joke, we're like, when it comes to putting a whole egg in there, Airman Baker, don't do that. Just put the egg inside white in the yolk.
So how ironic that you have a cook named Airman Baker.
Putting the egg in the bakery. Right. And that's funny because we had Airman Rudolph. And it was during Christmas time when I went in. And yes, she did. She face planted. Boom, right down on the patio, and she come up with a scratched nose. We felt so bad for her. She did not have a seizure or anything, so thank you, Lord. But she had everything else going on with her. She just face planted on there, come up with a bright red nose, and it was right at Christmas time, so we call her Airman Rudolph.
Wow.
Yeah, and then I was Airman Salts back then, not young. I'm married now, so a second marriage. I went through a divorce. It was really bad, but this is a long story, but we had Master Sergeant Peppers as my commander. He was an African American with Jerry curls, real tight, and real fro like. And I'm Airman Salts. So we had Airman Salts and Sergeant Peppers. All the cooks had cool stories. We had major, minor, and minor, major. We had everything. It was crazy. It was fun. It was a trip.
How long did you do that?
Well, I was in the Air Force for 2 years, 8 months, and 8 days, exactly. Okay. I got out on August 8th of 1996 at 4:30 in the afternoon on a Monday. It was very traumatic. I did not know how to become non-military. You know what I'm saying? I was used to people telling me what to do, what not to do, when to do it, how much to do it, and all that. You know what I'm saying? Everybody told me my marching orders, and so that was confusing to me. I didn't know how to sink or swim or survive in the secular
civilian world.
Was there a fault to stay in?
Yeah, but I had a trauma happen in the military, and it was pretty rough, and that's why I had PTSD, and so I had an experience in there that was pretty rough, and probably a lot of people can identify with it, as being a female. You can kind of get where I'm going there. And so it was pretty scary. It was very traumatic. And so I thought, I'm like, I'm going to stay in. But I made a base inspector general report on the gentleman and my supervisor that were harassing me because I was cute, by the way. I was a fox, is what I was told. So, yeah, I had an 8-pack. I was like Cindy Crawford is what I was told. So, but now I'm not. So, but God is so good. So like, it doesn't matter what you look like. It's a matter of your heart and your attitude. And so that's what I've really started focusing on. You know, it's not about what you look like. It's your heart and your attitude, and how, you know, your attitude determines your altitude. And so I really focus on that now.
Since you went through that traumatic experience,
Yes.
do you think the military has learned from any of its mistakes?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I'm trying to believe that. When I went to the review board, when they discharged me from the military on August 8th of 1996, they kept me away from the base. You know what I'm saying? For a length of time. I think it was like a year or something. I don't remember exactly, because I was just freaking out, trying to survive, trying to make ends meet financially.
Sure.
I didn't know how to get a job. Nobody taught me how to do that. The military was my job. That was what I was dedicated to do. So they didn't do any, what do you call that now? Like entry, like when you exit the military.
Like orientation.
Yeah.
Like an orientation.
You know what I'm talking about?
Life. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So they never did anything. The exit orientation on how to survive, how to do a checkbook, how to how to go to work, or how to bring in the income and what to do with it, or anything like that. They didn't train us on any of that. Neither did my parents, because they didn't know. So I'm like going, hey, what do I do? So I tried to get a job, and I couldn't keep a job out of the military. It was one thing right after the other after the other. I've been technically homeless 3 different times on people's couches, in their basements, in their homes on the couches. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, if you look at me now, you wouldn't know that, though.
Sure.
But that's just been my history. You know what I'm saying? I've come from tragedy to triumph.
Yeah.
And that's a really cool, resilient nature that I have, that I don't come up with on my own. Do you know what I'm saying?
No, I'm sure there's a person out there or people out there that listen that hear this, and that's, you know, that's part of your story that's important, is that is, you know, and that's why I was curious if the military, if you think that, because you obviously hear stories within the military, and you just wonder if the military has changed some of its ways, or if some of it is still bad or good, or, you know, and so I am curious. So you get out, you're struggling to make it, you know, in the real world, if you want to call it that, outside of the structure. And so is there a point there where a light bulb goes off, or is there someone there that helps in this journey? Or is this all on your shoulders at this point?
It was all on my shoulders, unfortunately. And I got to speak to what I'm doing now currently. I just finished up my suicide prevention training and orientations and stuff. I'm with the ICCI, International Christian Counseling Institute. And so I'm actually a mental health and stress and trauma care coach. So I'm working on helping other women, preferably women because I'm a woman, deal with their military sexual trauma or whatever their traumas might be, or addictions, stuff like that. If you're in prison, I can help you with prison ministry, get you on the right track. You know, moving forward is my organization that I'm trying to do a nonprofit with General D's out here in Alta Vista. And it's called Women Moving Forward, WMF. And so that's really a cool opportunity to get that out there, get them going in the right track. I think that right now mentorship is a very key thing for me. Miss June Hunt, 86 years old, is through Hope for the Heart International, and she's out of Dallas, Texas, Plano, Texas, actually. And so she's just been a really good instrument for me to learn and glean from, and learn and how to prepare and get ready for ministry. So this is a big new area in my life.
Sure.
And I'm really grateful to General D's and Miss Kathleen D's out here at Alta Vista for the last 3 years. They've really helped me grow and change and teach me how to be a leader, you know, and I'm like, I don't think I'm a really good leader, but they see it in me, and I'm like, help. You know what I'm saying?
How do you go? You had mentioned you were homeless maybe 3 times in
Yes.
your life on the way. How do you go from, I guess you were stationed, you said Biloxi, Mississippi, and then was it Omaha? Were you in
Yes,
or Nebraska?
off at Air Force Base.
So, and that was from our discussion beforehand that
Right.
you were there too. How do you go from there to land in Lynchburg? What's that?
What's the
how do you-
transition?
How do you get here?
Yeah, fill in that gap.
Yeah, how
That's
do you
a
get in
good
here?
question.
Yeah. Oh, I
Okay,
got
let me
one.
see. So you're going from Omaha to, let's see, I got married out of Omaha
Okay.
to my first husband, David. I won't say his last name on the air because I don't want to give him any credit, but just saying, just saying.
So is this period during some of your struggles?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Oh yeah. Because of my MST survivor skills and stuff. Like when we were gonna have our honeymoon, I told him, I'm like, man, I can't do this. I'm like, I was traumatized in the military, and I told him what that word was, the R word. And I told him, I'm like, I can't do this right now. I just can't, And like he got really mad and frustrated and wanted to kill the MF. If you know what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
So like that's what his attitude was. So he got kicked out of the military and blamed me for getting him out because of his attitude. And so we stayed married for about 3 years, and we moved to Pennsylvania. And I accepted Christ after about 2-3 years. I had his income a little bit. He worked off and on, but primarily I was alone a lot. And that was a very big struggle with the suicide and stuff.
When you're in those moments of being alone, is that when you found therapy in Christ? Is that what ended up bringing you to Christ?
Yes. The divorce was Christmas Eve of 1999. And so it took about a year. I went back to Nebraska. I went back to where my family's from. I went back to Nebraska and stayed with my mom and dad out at the lake. And they let me stay there for a little bit while I went through the divorce from my first husband, Dave. And I can promise you that it was a very challenging time.
Oh, sure.
I mean, he left completely, committed adultery, left, was worshiping Satan, into Dungeons and Dragons, into Tomb Raider, and porn and everything. I mean, this man was a piece of work. And people are like, how do you go from, I'm hearing Trent over here go, how do you go from here to here? I'm like, I honestly don't know. I literally remember sitting at the parade field one time with a knife to my wrist. And I'm telling you, I did not know what to do. I did not know what to do. I didn't know why I was having what I was feeling after the trauma. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
right after it.
Yeah.
And I was told by the security officers while I was sitting at the parade field at Offutt, are you fine? I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to cause any more problems. I'm good. What they didn't know is what I was struggling with on the inside. I think that's why I got into mental health and stress and trauma care coaching is because I've dealt with that. I've been there. I've done that. And I don't want to go back. And I don't want anybody else to have to go through it alone.
To somebody who is struggling like you were, you found it difficult because you didn't feel like there was anybody.
There
right?
wasn't.
So how do you help someone today who has those same feelings? What do they do? How do they know there's people out there to help them?
Because you got to show them that you care. You have to build a relationship with them. You have to ask questions like you guys are doing with me.
Sure.
This is what my job is going to be in the future. I already know that. Is be like, okay, so I hear you. I hear your heart. I hear you're going through this right now. Here, let me tell you what's next. Okay, this is what you need to do. You need to see your primary doctor. You need to go to your physician and talk to them and tell them, you know what, I'm going through depression. I'm going through anxiety. I'm having bipolar issues. They're like, what's that? I haven't been asked that so many times for women. I don't know if it's a military thing, but they seem to have that a lot. And so I'm like, so what's your struggle? What's going on with you? And get to know them and put myself in their shoes for a little bit and see how uncomfortable that feels for a mile in your moccasin kind of thing. So that's kind of what I want to do is get to know them. You know what I'm saying? And find out about them and get to know them, know their name. You know what I'm saying? Like Trent and Brian and Matt and me and Emma and Caitlin. That's what it's all about, is building up relationships and getting to know people and letting them know they're not alone.
Right.
They're not alone.
Yeah.
There's somebody out there that cares, and that's me, Danielle J. Young. You know what I'm saying? Now I am Danielle J. Young. But I've had many different names, but I'm that now.
Well, you can feel the passion. I mean, obviously it exudes
for sure.
from you. And do you get, when as you're going through this journey,
Yes, sir.
do you feel like it's, I don't want to use the word therapeutic because that's not the right word.
Helpful.
But yeah, do you find it helpful that, man, this is helping me just as much as it's helping
Absolutely.
others?
It is more of a blessing to me to get to know these people and what they've been through than anything that I've been through.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Mine is like that big when it's compared to what they've been through. Yeah. I mean, these people have been through like Vietnam veterans and stuff. My goodness. I'm like, dude, if they did that, I would be like right up on their behind. You know what I'm saying? I just fight for the right to party. Just joking. But that's kind of where I'm at.
And I think the way to look at it is you served our country.
Yes.
You're still serving our country.
I'm still serving.
You're
It's
serving
just in a
those that
different
need.
capacity.
Exactly. It's 100%. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
All right, tell me.
Yes.
We're talking to Danielle Young, Air Force veteran. You're listening to Life, Liberty, Happiness. So one of the things that I want to kind of touch on here is your faith in this process. So obviously, you're here to let people know that there is help out here. You can get help. Don't be alone. Reach out.
Yes.
But how has faith driven a lot of these things in your life?
Let me tell you what. Without my faith, I'd be dead. I mean, that's how serious it got. I mean, and I've had a couple episodes over the course of years, especially like when I went through the divorce. That was very lonely, not alone, but lonely. I mean, you can be in a room of people like this and still feel alone on the inside.
Sure.
It just happens. You know what I'm saying? It's really your mindset. It's your mentality. It's what you're going through. You know what I'm saying? The struggles that you have on the inside. Yeah. And I think that the soul is so important. And I think we're missing the soul issues. And that's why on my book, it's Soul Scars Smoothened, because I have so many scars from my head to toe, from different abuses and stuff, and near death at 2.5. I'm just telling you, I don't know why or how I got to be resilient, but it is a God thing. And he's protected me and he's provided for me. And why I don't understand, maybe just because I want to give back to other people, something that has not been given to them. And that is freedom.
Yeah.
And that's love. And I love the people.
One of the things that I've always found difficult in my own faith is how to portray it to the non-believer that doesn't quite understand. Like, there are a lot of people that you can reach, but oftentimes, as a Christian, people speak, but people who are non-believers, they just don't know what you're really talking about. So what I want to know in your faith is, how do you fall back on that? Because that's the question that I get a lot from people that may not necessarily be non-believers, but they're looking for that commitment that we've made, and we understand that, and you don't really get how nice it is to be, in walking in the faith.
Well, I can tell you the only way up is down. It's a reverse triangle. And I'm going to tell you straight up, there is no hope other than what I believe in, and that's in Jesus Christ. I mean, there are other ways to him, but it is him, and he is my hope, and he is my destination, and that's who I live for, and that's who I serve. I just happen to have the country behind me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Moving forward, and they're progressing me moving forward. But I can tell you, the only way to go to the top is go down. Serve. Be a servant. Be that for somebody else. Think of other people higher than yourself. Don't think of self more, self less. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
It's in reverse of what our society is telling us. And love is not for everybody. It's for everybody. It's through Jesus Christ that we get our hope. Sure. And that's what I've been broadcasting for 25 years now that I've been an official Christian. but I had to go through a lot of pain and a lot of suffering to get to the other side. I pray nobody else has to, but if they have to, they have to.
Yeah.
Then look up, and your redemption draws near.
Yeah.
You know, so it can happen at any time. We don't know. You know what I'm saying? Life is a vapor. It's here today and gone tomorrow.
That's right.
I could preach, but I'm just saying I'm not going to. But I could because I know what I'm talking about. I've experienced this stuff.
Yeah.
I know what the fake is. Oh man, you don't know how much I struggled. I said I was a Christian in the military. I was not a Christian in the military. I was a hypocrite. Mm-hmm. I was thinking that I was saved. I pretended like I was. I carried my Bible even. But then I went to the bar and I drank. Not that bars make you bad or anything.
No, I get what you're saying.
That's what I did.
1,000%. Yeah.
That's what I did. That's what I was taught to do. You know what I'm saying? And now there's something different. There's something better. There's something more hopeful, more exciting about the future. And it's weird.
Yeah,
it's weird.
It is. That's actually how I describe it. Is weird.
Yeah.
There were times when I used to say, in my walk of faith, that I used to say, I don't want to quit drinking. I don't want to, not be able to have alcohol. I remember having these conversations, and then when you finally understand and you really dive into your faith. You don't, those things become meaningless.
Yeah, you don't want to.
You can still have a drink, but they just become meaningless at that point.
Right.
And so it's interesting. And that's, I enjoy, learning about people in faith because everybody's got a different story, but the stories are always so awesome.
When they come back down to the same person, though.
Yes.
I mean, there may be different journeys, and my email is prayingyouthrough@hotmail.com because God allows U-turns. And in my life, I've been literally from let's see, it would be Nebraska to Pennsylvania to Maryland, where I got baptized in La Plata, Maryland, up by D.C. I was there for September 11th, breathing in the fumes in the bodies and everything of September 11th. I was literally at the Pentagons cleaning the windows of the Pentagon people when I saw the smoke over across the Woodrow Wilson Bridge to the right side. And so I don't know exactly where that is, but I kind of want to go back, but I kind of don't want to go back into faith. But that was my first day back from taking care of my dad back in Nebraska when he had bypass surgery back in 2000. And so I can promise you this, I've been through a lot of traumas, but I'm going from trauma to triumph. I'm going forward. I'm moving forward, and I don't want to go backwards.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And my only way forward is with the Lord.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's the only way I can go. Because if I go backwards, I'm going back into the lifestyle I just came from. And I'm like, no, that's okay. I'm good.
Well, before we get you out of here, what's the future? What you got coming up?
Good question. I'm glad you asked that, Brian. Very good. So like I said, we have women moving forward. General D's, I just did a mentorship with General D's. Actually, I just finished up on May, I believe, 9th. It was my last session with him. I got free sessions with him, which I probably shouldn't say, but you can edit it later. But anyway, so that was a lot of money, a lot of like $1,200 or something like that, I think, or something like that. It was a lot of money that he sponsored me for because I think he sees the potential of me helping other women in the future.
Yes.
And he's putting his money where his mouth is. It just is a little different. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So he gave me his time because time is money. And so I'm really grateful to General D's and Miss Kathleen. I mean, I'm going to cry because they're just amazing people, and I respect them totally. I mean, I see what they're doing. I back their play. I respect what he did. I served him in the military.
Oh, wow.
I've known General D since probably when I went to, it would be, what do you call that? Temporary duty. I couldn't think of that term because I'm thinking about Christ. But when I went to temporary duty, I served him at the flight line at, I believe it was Internal Look 96, I think is one of the 2 temporary duties that I went to, off base of Nebraska. So that was cool. It was fun. But we literally took the whole entire dining facility in a bunker, kind of like this a little bit. just a flat bunker, and we clean everything and clean it all up. We got letters of accommodations from everywhere, from
Wow.
General Culottes to whoever else. I mean, I've got like a stack like that. And it wasn't because of anything I did. I just did my job and did it well. And then I served him, and I'm like, you were in at the same. He's like, so we hooked up. Then I lost track of him. And then all of a sudden, like, we moved to Lynchburg, Virginia. And I'm like, what are you doing, Lord? You know what I'm saying? And then we find that we're in his back doorstep. I'm like, is that you? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, oh, that's crazy. So there's weird and crazy in this story, but you know what? It's all for God's glory. And that's what it's all about, you guys, is serving others, loving others, and moving on, and just keep going. You know what I'm saying? In a forward, progressive manner. Yeah. You know, about face kind of thing.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today. It is, like I said, we mentioned it earlier, the passion that you have. It exudes. And
got your last question, too.
Oh, yeah.
Last question. Uh-oh.
Yeah, this is always
some every now and then we forget.
Okay.
Everybody thinks they get away, but you're not getting away.
Oh, come
So
on.
our last question is this. You can pick one person in history, dead or alive. You get to hang out with that one person. Who is it, and where do you hang out with them for a 24-hour period?
Oh, Billy Graham.
Oh, wow. That's the first time we got that answer. That's a great answer.
That's a
Billy
great
Graham.
answer.
Oh my gosh, we just toured the Capitol this weekend, and so I have little DC on my arm.
Yeah, very cool.
Y'all see it?
Yeah.
Come on now, it's glowing. I'm joking. No, it's cool. We had a really good time. We went to Boulder Crest up in Bluemont, Virginia. For the PTSD retreat, and we spent 4 days up there in the cabin. It rained every day, but and we missed the West Virginia flood, but we were right there it was really bad. But anyway, so we went up there and we just had a really great time, Brian and Trent, just resting and relaxing in the log cabins. They're beautiful. They didn't miss anything except for a couch instead of a chair, a love seat.
Yeah.
But they had heated seats on the toilet. I just thought I'd share
It's
that.
the little things.
It's the little big things.
That's a great answer. I'll say before you
Billy
run
Graham.
out too I want to say this.
Yes.
I mentioned to it before, and Brian picked up on it. You glow, and your energy glows.
It's infectious.
And you were called Smiley early in your career, and you still are.
Yeah.
And you can see it is, and keep using that to help people.
Yes, sir.
And
I will.
It's a fantastic thing you're doing.
Awesome.
Thank you again.
God
Appreciate
bless
it.
you guys.
All right.